In this video, I'm gonna show you how I cook this tomahawk steak. Hi, my name is JP. I found this tomahawk steak in the local flame iron. It weighs around 2.2 pounds and it is the smallest one I found there. Step number 1, seasoning. The ingredients I use: pink salt, garlic powder, black pepper, paprika. I try to use a good amount on both sides. This is a big piece. When we're done, this is gonna sit for 2 hours in the room temperature to let the ingredients do their magic while bringing the center temperature up. Look at this. Alright, it's gonna sit here for 2 hours before we can cook. See you in 2 hours. Our goal is to bring the internal temperature of the steak to over 130 degrees using oven. My plan is to set the oven to 275. This is very flexible. You can set it to somewhere between 200 to 300. Depends on the time you want it to be ready. It's been 2 hours, and I already put the meat thermometer in the center. It's ready to cook. The internal temperature right now is at 54 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's time to let the oven do the work. After spending 90 minutes in the oven, this is what our steak looks like. The surface is turning into a hard shell, and it looks a little funny, like beef jerky. The internal temperature reached 134 degrees, and it's time to sear the steak. Turn to the high heat and keep it a couple minutes before you pour oil. After that, just put the steak in there. Searing is coloring the steak. For me, I always try to use cast iron. Since the inside is already cooked, we need about 1 minute each side to make it golden brown. This step is called basting. This is optional. I add some garlic and butter to the cast iron. This is gonna add a nice butter flavor to the steak. Once again, it's about 1 minute each side. Once we finish searing, let it rest for at least 10 minutes before slicing it. Otherwise, the meat is still hot and the juice will drain out. I waited 15 minutes, and I think it can wait for a little bit longer. I muted the background here because there's TV noise. That's the scene with filming in the real kitchen where people live in versus the studio. What you're seeing is our dinner. Let's slice it. First, take down that bone. In case I didn't say it, this is the first time I cook tomahawk steak. There are a dozen of things I could do better. Let's say filming while cooking is harder than I expected. Let's review what we did here. Number 1, we season a steak and wait for 2 hours. That raise the temperature internally, make it easier for oven cooking. Number 2, slow cooked in oven. Cook to the temperature, not time. Step number 3, searing with cast iron at high heat. Step 3.5, basting with butter and garlic. This is optional. Then we wait for 15 minutes. Step number 4, slicing and then eat it. My first impression is there's this hard shell on the surface. It gives an interesting texture that I never had before. I was a little worried about the inside. Would it be under or overcooked because we didn't get to see it, but it turned out to be great. This has a strong beefy flavor, of course, especially the butter and garlic give it a nice combination and it's really heavy, rich taste. On the outside, it's hard, I should say crispy. The center is pink, tender, it's definitely medium. Because of the thickness of the meat, it's salty outside. The amount we use give it a good balance. And the fun part about cooking tomahawk steak is you get this giant bone that everybody wonder how it feels to chew it. Here is the finished product. Overall, I really like it. If you're learning to cook new things like me, I think you will like it too. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. And don't forget that bone.